Hello people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darsh and I'm a BTech Computer Science and Engineering graduate. I'm currently working as a developer in a tech company. And I can be a rapper if this doesn't work out, because I can talk really fast. Really bad joke, but anyways, let's start with today's video, which is, let me just share my screen real quick. It is DML, which is data manipulation language. I haven't moved on from this table because we deleted that in the previous video. If you haven't seen it, please do. Means a lot. And I think I should make another notebook for another whiteboard. Okay. Anyways, so today we are discussing some data manipulation language, which we talked about a little bit in the previous video, very little bit, so I think it deserves a really long video about itself. So what is DML stand for? Probably already know it from the intro. It's data manipulation language. I type it out instead of writing it with my own hands. DML stands for data language. So we are basically using commands to manipulate our data instead of the table this time. That's DML for you, very basic definition. So these are SQL commands which we use to manipulate actual data stored inside actual tables. An important difference, I would say, distinction of this code, but I stuttered for some reason. Important distinction here is DDL works on structure, DML works on data. Simple analogy, let's take an example of a classroom. DDL builds the classroom and DML manages the student sitting inside of a classroom. There are some of the main things which we are going to discuss today. Will be the DML commands. Is insert, select, update, delete, which in other words we can simply call as the CRUD operations. And good to go. So let's get started with that. Okay, here it is. I'm not clearing this because I don't know how to. Clear command doesn't work, CLS also doesn't work, it gives me an error, and slash was supposed to work but it also doesn't work. So if you know how to deal with clearing the screen, please let me know. For now, what I can do is this, and that would only make it a lot uglier than it is. Let's start with creating the database about the school today. So let's create a database and let's call it school. Let's call DB. Why not? Okay, I guess it already exists. Let's just use school DB as it is. Now we are using the school DB. And we already have a student table, so let's drop that table first. Drop table, because we'll be creating our own tables and stuff today. So let's create the table again because I need to demonstrate that. So create table students. I think I made that table when I was trying out everything, revising for this week. I think that was, and forgot to delete it beforehand. So student ID, it would be an integer, and student name, it would be a varchar. This variable characters to a limit of 50, and let's also take age, it would be integer, and let's also consider city. would be a varchar of, let's say, 50 characters, and done. It has been created, and the table has these 4 columns. Now what we have to do is start with the DML commands. First command which we will be learning today is insert into students. Now we press enter. Now we put the values in the exact structure which we defined, or we would have to define the structure here. I can't go back really. Here we can define the exact structure, but I'm too lazy to do that. You can just do it this way. Values, and inside this we put, let's say, 1, my name, my age, and city. Let's call it XYZ, X for now, and good to go. And it's put inside the table now. Now let's see the table, what we have so far. We have 1 row and it's me with some of my details. So that's really easy, but how do we put multiple columns in the same way? For that we need to do this. Simply set into students, then we put values, again press enter here, then we put this, say 2. There's someone called Aryan, he is 21 years old and he lives in ABC. Similarly, I can make this call Karan. Karan, if you're watching this, sorry I'm using your name. And he also lives in XYX. So I can do this infinite times and it could enter all the data inside. My bad. I need this. And after this I have to use a comma, then press enter, and I can this line now, and it works. That's basically how we put multiple values inside a table. And we already saw how select statement works. This one, we basically can fetch data from our table. There's a where clause as well, and we'll be learning that eventually. That would be a next video. So for viewing all data we use simply this query, and for viewing specific data, like let's say I now need to see the name and age only, then what I do, select name comma age from, and it would give only the names and ages. Select, what it does, it basically select specific columns which we need. Press select all, then it would give out all the columns. All is asterisk, by the way, this one. So yeah, that's how a select statement, select query, whatever you call it, works. Let's also cover where clause, not take it to the next video. So let's take select star from where. This is important, let's capitalize it. Where age, specifically age greater than, let's say, 21, and it should give out only my name, and there we go. So where clause is basically used when we need to specify some things. Like I specified that 8 should be greater than 21, it should be smaller than 22, or something like that. Whatever question kind of thing, what your specifications are, is what we define after the where clause. Let's use the next command, which is update command. How does it work? We can simply update specific data from the table, specific rows from the table. I have to specify that. So how do we do it? Wait. That is set city. Let's say Mumbai. Why not? Mumbai, where say 2. And if I press enter, then now if we just then we should see Mumbai here. Yeah, that's how it works. We can update data inside tables, have some specific ID to know what data to edit. If I simply don't specify where student ID equals 2, it would update all the cities to Mumbai. Let's try that as well. And now if we see this, you can see that everything has been changed to Mumbai, which is why we need to use them carefully, not rush things when we are. Next command which we'll be seeing is the delete command. We can delete specific data. Delete Karan, because why not? Karan, you know it. Students where student ID, let's say 3. We press this, one query, one row affected. Let's check out the table, which is 2 rows left, me and Aryan. Aryan, I don't know you. There's no one in my life called Aryan. And in this delete query, you need to take care of some things, which is delete from. If I just do this, everything gets deleted and we have nothing left. So basically, yeah, you get the point of why we need to be careful when we are using delete query and using update query as well. Yeah, that's the DML queries for not queries, I would say. That's the DML, what do we call it? DML commands have. We basically perform all the CRUD operations. CRUD is create, read, update, delete. Create here is the insert, read is select, update is update, and delete is delete. So yeah, I hope sense. Let's understand this with a real world example. These commands are basically everywhere. A good example would be Instagram storing your posts, banking apps using queries to update your balance, up to date your what do we call it, expenditure history. It's also used in Amazon for storing orders. It's used in hospital systems to manage patients. Almost every application depends completely on DML commands. And I have some important beginners advice. So when practicing SQL, don't just memorize the syntax. Try understanding what data is changing, which rows are being affected, and why the query behaves that way. Yeah, that's today's video. Let's wind everything up, then I can just stop recording this video and move on to the next one. So today we learned about insert, select, update and delete queries, and where clause as well. Now you officially know how to use SQL to manipulate real world data. And because databases are not containers of information, they are living systems. They are constantly changing through data. They are constantly evolving through data. And that's, I think, all I had to say for today. Yeah, that was everything I could deliver about DML, data manipulation language, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, you need to subscribe to this amazing channel I'll show. It's called Decoded and it has 45 subscribers. It already has 2 courses out, guys. Come on. It's Python for absolute beginners. It's Oops in Python, and the video you're watching now is a part of the current course, which is SQL Roadmap series. SQL Roadmap series is basically, you know, a handbook for learning prerequisite for data engineering. I was originally going to make data engineering C, and I stopped because SQL is something really important for that. So we are covering SQL now. We'll be covering data engineering next. Already had a roadmap ready and all, but let's go for SQL for now. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. If you really like the video, then please do like it. If you don't like it, please do give me suggestions in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next video. See you and have a good day or night or whenever you are watching, whatever time zone you are in. I hope you like the video.